This is where we redeem our miserable lives.
Now, there's a lot of crap in Fallout 4. It could be a weapon, it could be an armor, or yes, it could be a junk item. They're just stuff you don't use, and normally you just kind of look over. I'd say the teddy bear is one of those items. In most runs, you'd kind of just look at it, maybe have a quick laugh at one of the ways the developers positioned it, and then leave because let's face it, it's just a piece of junk on the floor that's worth virtually nothing. Yeah, well, I decided not to do that this run. Instead, I decided it would be a good idea to beat the entire game with them. If you couldn't tell this is going to be a junk jet run, I mean it has to be. There's only one way to turn these little guys into pure damage, and that's through the junk jet. Now this raises its own problems as the junk jet is so horribly tedious to use that you wish you never invented this run in the first place. As soon as I was free from the shackles of the vault, I began making my way over to Cambridge. Obviously, I need the weapon before I started the run, so I figured I'd just make my way to the junk jet and pick up any teddy bears that I saw in the way. Keeping that in mind, I stopped at the Drumlin Diner, dealt with the problems there so that I could get a couple teddy bears off Trudy. This ended up being a really good move on my part, mainly because Trudy kept selling me bears throughout the entire run. When I finally got to Cambridge, I just sat in the plants like usual. Let me remind you, for the first half of this run, I was in survival. I took that off later though, so I could actually mess around a bit more. Anyways, after the ghouls were all puddles, I talked to Dance so we could start making our way to Arcjet. Not too much to say about the short jog to Arcjet, I mean Dance destroys everything there, including the enemies inside Arcjet, so I didn't really have to worry about anything while I was in there. I did make sure to try and take a few things out with the junk jet once I got it, but honestly it didn't mean too much. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest here, I hate the junk jet in Fallout 4. Like, I actually hate it, like I loathe it with every cell of my being, and that's because it is so very hard to use. It is inaccurate, it is glitchy, worst of all it takes forever to get any shots off. Normally this kind of stuff can be circumvented by just spraying shots with it. The thing is, obviously as of right now, I only have 2 teddy bears so I cannot just spray shots with it. Possibly the worst thing, though, that I actually learned maybe a bit later on in the run, but it started affecting me around here, was that the bears can get stuck in the terrain. Mind you, this doesn't sound too bad until you take invisible walls into consideration. I had so many teddy bears get stuck in midair, and I just couldn't grab them just because they hit an invisible wall. Okay, that's enough of my belly aching for now. I helped Dance. We exited Arcjet, I trashed his laser rifle, and then I made my way to Fraternal Post 115. I always botch that name. It's Fraternal Post 115. Now, for those of you who don't know, let's face it, that's all of you who the hell would know this unless they were doing this run. Fraternal Post 115 has the most teddy bears in the entire game. It has a total of 8 teddy bears in the main room, and so I figured I'd get that. Easy enough, right? It shouldn't be too hard to get 8 teddy bears from a single building. Except that building's infested with super mutants. The good news is the developers at Bethesda felt a little bad for players, so they won't actually come and attack you right away. Instead, there's a little bit of a something there. By the way, I'm calling it a something because I have no idea what to call it other than that. This something is a super mutant named Deadeye. No, he does not have really good aim, he's blind. What this means is he has a very low perception and you could sneak past him very easily, but if he does happen to catch you, he will hit an alarm and that will cause all the super mutants in the area to spawn in and come attack you. You'd think sneaking around him because he's blind would be pretty easy, but it's not. He spotted me a lot, and whenever he did, all his super mutant buddies would come kill me, and since I was in survival, I couldn't really do much about it. I eventually found out I could actually lure him into a couple of landmines, detonate them, and then try and kill him, and that was interesting. Honestly, looking back at the footage, I genuinely think I had some sort of beef with him, because his death was so slow, so painful, that could be the only explanation. First off, I detonated a landmine at his feet, which broke everything but one of his legs. I then used teddy bears to break the other leg, and started focus firing as many shots as I could directly into his head until his skull imploded. I genuinely think I was hating on that poor super mutant for no particular reason. Anyways, the bad news is the landmine that I detonated kind of sent all the teddy bears everywhere, so I had to go track them down afterwards. Luckily, this wasn't too bad. I was eventually able to find all 8, and that was a nice little side quest out of the way. Still, 10 teddy bears isn't that much, because let's face it, these things aren't that easy to track down, and I'd keep losing them throughout the run. I was so proud of the way I handled myself in Fraternal Post 115 that I decided, you know what, I could do Vault 114. Guess what? I couldn't do Vault 114. As a matter of fact, I couldn't even make it to Vault 114. I died so many times on the way there that I genuinely wanted to quit the run. This is not something that happens that often. Usually, I like to stay with my runs till the end, but I actually wanted to quit this time. So what did we learn today, class? I don't do survival. I definitely see the appeal in survival. I actually have a lot of fun doing it on more casual playthroughs, but it does not work with weapon restricted runs. It does not work with armor restricted runs. It takes a very specific type of run for survival to work in, and if it's not that kind of run, you are going to have an absolutely horrible time trying to play survival. I'd rather keep my sanity, believe it or not, so I decided to turn survival off for now. I'm going to give it one more chance in a video, probably in a more casual run than any of the ones I've done so far, but that's survival gone for today. Bye-bye. Go away. With survival off, I was finally reunited with my beloved quick save button, so I could actually make it to Vault 114, and things weren't much better. I went down to hard mode because that's my preferred mode to play the game on, and, well, the triggermen were surprisingly tanky. As I've mentioned, the junk jet is super slow, so if you don't manage to kill a triggerman in your first shot, the second one's gonna have to take forever to come out. On top of that, it was very easy to lose the teddy bears inside the rooms, so I had an awful time just trying to make my way through Vault 114. The worst room by far was the train room because let's face it, it's the train room, it's always the worst room. Well, this time it was even worse. I had my first casualty in there actually. Yes, I shot a random triggerman and I could not find the bear afterwards. That genuinely hurt my soul. Anyways, after enough time, I finally made my way to the end of Vault 114. I decapitated Dino with a teddy bear, I did the same to Skinny, and I was out finally into the not so fresh air. I'm pretty sure I've said that in another run. No, you know what? I'm positive I said that in another run. With Nick saved, I decided it was time to get some new fashion, because Robot Detective Man equals new fashion. Yes, I know my California is showing, don't judge me. Anyways, I planned to get the bear hat from Bosco. The main reason was because the Lucky Charms killer drip wasn't exactly doing me justice this run. If you don't know, there's a unique raider inside the Vault-Tec University named Bosco, and basically he's wearing a bear hat. I decided I needed that bear hat because I'm beating the game with teddy bears, so naturally I myself need to be a teddy bear. Simple logic. The Vault-Tec school, it's not VTU, VTU is 76. Anyways, the Vault-Tec school was really hard. The raiders there are exceptionally tough, and a good chunk of them actually have combat rifles, so I went down a lot while I was there. I eventually finally had a good run where I managed to kill a bunch of raiders, and so I was happy with that. Something else I learned while I was there was roughly 6 teddy bears in the school. It's a high school, so something's not quite adding up, but I'll take any bears I can get. The real trouble was of course the basement. I mean, Bosco's in there, he has a pretty well modded combat rifle, and a bit of backup. I decided my plan for attack was to take out his turret and his bodyguards with criticals, because I built a crit build by the way. Ended up being kind of like a half-baked crit build though, wasn't very good. Either way, I took out his bodyguards, and then I had to deal with Bosco. I wound up sniping him from across the room with a teddy bear, and it was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. I then ripped his head off, put it on my head, and I found out I lost a bear. I was heartbroken. It was one of my children. I cannot let one of my children go, but it must have landed in the bog somewhere because I couldn't find it. With that really stupid mission out of the way, I was finally ready to continue the run. Or so I thought. And I thought right. I went to Fort Hagen after that, because that was the next point in the run. Fort Hagen was so tough. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It was so tough. If you don't know, synths have a reduced head hitbox. I have no idea why, but they do, and that made them so hard to hit with the teddy bears. On top of that, I've already mentioned how janky the junk jet is, so going through Fort Hagen was almost torture. Eventually, I dodged and or killed all the synths. So I made my way to Kellogg, and I was like, this should be easy. I have a crit charged up, I have better criticals rank 1, I should be able to take him out in one stealth shot. Boy, was I wrong. So wrong, in fact, that this was one of the single most frustrating Kellogg fights I've ever had in any run, and it literally killed my soul. I was in this weird limbo, where if I wasn't careful, Kellogg would take 2 stim packs. That would make him straight up immortal, and then he'd one-shot me. So I had to kill him in one VATS attack. I can only get 3 bears out with a single AP bar. This means I had to kill Kellogg with 3 bears with a 60% chance of a headshot and a single crit. It was hit or miss, and believe me, did I miss. I missed a lot, actually. And I died a lot. Part of me died there. And I'm not talking about the game. But eventually, I did take out Kellogg. He was dead. He's in the ground. I took out his synths. I picked up his brain bits out of the ground, apparently. And then I went to his terminal, got all my information, and there was the Brotherhood. I originally was going to side with them, so I was kind of happy to see them. By the end of the run, I was not happy to see them, believe me. After Fort Hagen, I was feeling kind of down. I decided I worked for it, I deserved it, I needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. You guys know me, nothing brings smiles to my face like murdering everybody in the railroad and everybody they love. Much better. Okay, you may have noticed there has been no live commentary up until this point. The reason for this is that I finished editing my robot run by now, and I learned that, oh yeah, my settings were terrible, and I sound horrible on the live commentary bits. There was live commentary during these sections, I just cut it out because I couldn't stand the sound of it. I fixed my settings by then, so there should be some live commentary bits, and wait, oh yeah, there's some. By the way, I'm going to Nuka World for some reason. Sitting down thinking to myself about what I should do next, and I decided instead of continuing with the main story, I would go and do Nuka World. You're probably wondering why, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know. I kinda just thought of it on a whim, and now I actually want to do it. This is probably gonna go poorly considering Nuka World's very high level, but you know, when has that ever stopped me? And I'm already getting destroyed. This is going beautifully. What hit me? Seriously, what hit me? Okay, before I go into Nuka World, I'm just going to say a little goodbye because the most of Nuka World is going to be live commentary. And I mean, I'm happy about it. I get some free time, you know? I could drink some water, eat some cantaloupe, contemplate my life. Hello? I debated a bit on whether or not I should run the gauntlet, but I decided to run it in the end. Mainly because I couldn't figure out how to get the glitch working in order to skip it. But, you know, I've done this enough times, I know it by heart, I know what to do. You can't really get hurt that badly, honestly. I mean, there are some pretty tough sections, like the part with radiation can be a real killer. But honestly, like, I'm not afraid of that crap, like, I've done it before. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, let's get this over with. Oh crap, I didn't realize he'd be doing so much damage just from the area attack. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. There we go. I don't think you could hit Coulter's fusion core. That's my go-to when it comes to enemies in power armor. Yeah, because that's the wild part of what's going on right now. My aim's so bad with this thing. And I'm gonna go down right now. Why isn't it firing? Oh my god, this is gonna suck, isn't it? Oh, I seriously just crippled my... Oh my god, this is gonna go poorly. You know what they say. Third time's a charm. You know what they say. Fourth time's a charm. You know what they say. Fifth time's a charm. Oh my god, I actually did it. Oh, that was so hard. Oh, sweating the entire time. My god, that was hard. In case you're wondering, the whole reason I'm here is because you could actually get easy access to a lot of really good armor sets without doing too much work. So I'm going to go ahead and try and grab one. The best one I can think of is just the Operator's Heavy Armor, which is over here. The thing is, I am going to have to kill the blacks. And that might be a little difficult considering I was barely able to take out Coulter. Finally, that was starting to get awkward. You know what? I could do this. He's not in power armor, so I'm not that scared. It's just the others. Oh, no, 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 no. Maybe I should be scared. He just sat there and let me kill him. I have no words. Anyways, the good news is this armor is, like, ridiculously overpowered. There are some issues with it, like, it's absurdly heavy. But I'm willing to work around that because I'm practically invincible right now while wearing this. I understand I was dead silent during that entire exchange, but I was kind of trying to operate at like full capacity. In case you were wondering, that was the extent of my gamer skills. Usually that skill is reserved completely and only for Minecraft Nether Fortresses, but I had to make an exception here. So that was Nuka World. Oh yeah, I'm back. Did you miss me? With my business in Nuka World finally all finished up, I decided it was high time to start doing the story again. It's time for the memory den. I don't know why I made that so dramatic. It's time for the memory den. Now, for all the crap I give the memory den and Fallout 4 story in general, I actually really liked it. Like, I remember on my first playthrough really enjoying that segment. It's just on these kind of repeated runs it definitely gets boring. The only reason I'm mentioning this is if you haven't seen my small little post a little while ago, I recently started playing Starfield, and well, I've enjoyed it to start. I don't know why people are complaining about it so much, I've had a lot of fun playing it. But anyways, it kind of reminded me what it was like to play these games for the first time again, so that was nice. Anyways, that's enough of that. I finished up the memory den, I made my way to the glowing sea. Nothing too much happened, except for I decided it'd be a good idea to fight the Deathclaw outside Virgil's cave. Yeah, not one of my brightest moments. With the glowing sea all finished up, that obviously means it's time for green tech. Now, normally green tech is a pretty good part of the game. I enjoy it, but this time, well, it was something. It was definitely a something. Hey, so I finally made it to green tech, and I have to talk kind of quietly right now. So this next couple clips might sound a little weird. The reason I have to talk kind of quietly is a little depressing, so I'm just going to pretend I'm doing it because it makes me sound cooler. I haven't heard this clip yet, so it probably doesn't. But I don't care. Both of those shots missed, but I honestly don't feel that bad because all of them hit that one guy. Which is something that works out, I guess? Kinda? Not really? I don't know. Holy crap, this guy's almost dead. Also, once again, I apologize if I sound kind of weird right now. I genuinely just can't talk that loud. For the Courser fight, I'm thinking I'm going to open with 2 stealth criticals if I can manage. I'm not seeing the Courser, so I can't actually shoot it if I don't see him. Where'd this man go? Seriously. He's right around the corner, isn't he? Oh my god, I can't actually reach him if he's over there. Dang it, dude. He's going first impact. Oh my god, it's too slow. The weapon's too... Oh my god, I'm gonna restart this fight. I need to get a stealth critical on this guy. Something I have learned about the junk jet is that in drawn out fights, it's just not worth using. He's looking right at me. He doesn't care. Oh, I'm invisible and he's seeing me through a wall. I got it! I got his gun. I got his gun and ammo. That's so good, dude. He can't fight back anymore. I've won this fight. He's stuck using a pipe revolver, dude. Oh my god. In case you're wondering what I did there was I actually used a, instead of pressing the normal button, like that you press to pick up the stuff, I press take all. And what that does is it guarantees that even if you get caught, you'll at least get a few bits of ammo, which is nice because it does stop them from using their primary weapon. Now that that whole ordeal at Green Tech is over, I think I can call it an ordeal. Legally, I think that's an ordeal. Yeah, it's an ordeal. With the whole ordeal at Green Tech over, the rest of the game should be relatively smooth sailing, right? Well, of course, I somehow managed to mess this up. Timeline right now. Basically, the last thing I posted on my channel was a small little update explaining that I wasn't going to be posting this week. Well, I might not be doing that because I'm actually thinking I can make it. You see, as I'm talking right now, it's about night of Friday. I post on Sundays, which would leave me Saturday to do audio and editing. I like a bit of a challenge, so I think I'm going to attempt to do this. That was really boring. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to try to beat the rest of Fallout 4 in about an hour. Yeah, this is gonna be something else. Yeah, a day to beat the game. Now that may not sound like a big deal to a lot of people, but keep in mind I am not a speedrunner. I do not speedrun these games. In fact, I do the opposite. I make them longer than they should be. This means that this is going to take me forever, and I'm going to be stressing out every single minute of it. Well, there wasn't really much time for some live commentary, so I'll go through as much as I can. I decided I would side with the Institute because they could actually be the fastest faction if you're careful. And so obviously I fast traveled to the Institute and got all that business over there done. This means it's time for Synth Retention, the first Institute quest, and it was pretty easy. I mean, I performed as many skips and tricks as I could, and I eventually got to the top of the tower pretty quickly. I took out all of Gabriel's bodyguards and I was done. Next up was Bunker Hill, and I decided to try my tricks again, and embarrassingly enough, I messed it up really badly. I then had to reload, fast travel back to Bunker Hill and do the whole thing again, because I can't do anything right. Anyways, the trick I was trying to do is if you kill the Courser before going into Bunker Hill, you skip the entire mission. kind of handy for runs like this. This obviously pisses off Sean, but it's fine, I just talked to him. And then I decided to give up on the whole speedrunning dream. At least now that I don't have to beat the game in a day, I don't really have to worry about, not messing around anymore. Except I do. I really don't learn from my mistakes because I somehow managed to land myself in the exact same situation the next week. That's right, I procrastinated all the way till Friday this week. Good for me. Well, anyways, what this means for me is that now I have to beat the rest of the game again in a single day. Luckily, I don't have too much this time, and I actually had a bit of time to goof around for a bit. To start, it's nearing the end of the Institute's questline, so I decided I would pull a little trick out of my butt. But I actually have something of a plan before I go there. You see, in Fallout 4, because power armor is like the way it is, you can actually block enemies from getting into certain areas. I did not know I left any raiders here. I thought I killed them all. Well, I'm just gonna ignore you. I don't want to deal with this right now. I have more important things to do, like beating the game. Oh crap, he's actually following me. I thought he'd just get stuck somewhere. You know what? This is fine. This is going well. I'm okay. Get over there. I didn't even jump. Nice. No! I'm alive. Anyways, like I was saying, I could actually block the entrances of areas like Liberty Prime with power armor, so I'm gonna get 2 suits of power armor and lock the Brotherhood out of Liberty Prime's little area. This is going great. And if the Brotherhood can't actually reach the synth virus, it's gonna make defending Liberty Prime a lot easier. I don't think it's foolproof. I'm pretty sure they still can get to him. The synth virus, I mean. But I should be a lot better off if I do block him off. Of course, this means I need power armor, and that's easier said than done. I eventually did get the armor, mind you. It took me a lot of jumps, but I eventually got to the top of the Museum of Freedom. I grabbed my power armor, and I took it over to the Institute. I then did a pretty poor job of explaining what I was trying to do. Basically, I'm trying to block Liberty Prime's walkways with the power armor so that nobody can actually defend him. I wound up using the armor from the Museum of Freedom, as well as the armor that's right outside Fort Strong. Once that was finished, I decided it was time to do mass fusion, and it was mass fusion for sure. I struggled a lot during this one. Like, a lot. Wait, oh my god, it's this way. I'm not gonna make it. Whee! Oh, I missed the jump. I totally missed the jump. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Oh my god, I backed into a corner. Why would I back into a corner? This crit might just save me. It did not. I did not get saved. I'm stuck. No, I'm fine. I'm actually fine. Huh. Oh. Oh, it's both of them. You know what? I might just live through this. That's a big might, though. I'm cornered. I'm not gonna live through this. Why does their attack stagger you so much, dude? I'm so dead. I can't move. I can't even fire a shot, dude. Why is my AP not regenerating? Oh, there's that. Oh my god, that went. That went. You know what? That went. Oh my god, that was so much. That was so much. Oh, I'm so glad it's over. Luckily, I eventually managed to get the job done. I returned to the Institute and began doing the sort of busy work. You know, pinned, the reactor, the radio quest, all that. Once that was all finished up, it's obviously time for the Brotherhood, and I was scared the entire time. Obviously, I've struggled to do basically anything in this run, so I'm sure the Brotherhood was going to go perfectly fine. I'm honestly surprised that statement wasn't sarcastic because it did go completely fine. Somehow, by some strange miracle, even though I struggled through the entire run, the Brotherhood went so smoothly, I did it in one attempt. Well, that's not counting some recon attempts where I kind of just ran into the Brotherhood's fire and see how long I lasted. But either way, I did it in one attempt, and that's something. Alright, so after those 2 test runs, I actually do have something of a plan down. Basically, step 1 is I go and I knock out generator number 1 without dying, which is proving harder than I thought. Hit it, hit it, hit it! You can't catch me! Oh, they didn't catch me. This is why I don't like the junk jet. It's honestly one of my least favorite weapons in the game. Take the stim pack. We're actually winning. It's actually going well. This is by far the easiest generator, so I'm gonna take this one out next. Yeah. Protect draw on some turrets. Boom, that's everything. That's all the generators. That's literally all of them. Gonna quick save right here, and now it's time to defend Liberty Prime. Now we just chill for about 15 minutes. I'll try to take out as many people as possible. But I mean, it doesn't really mean all that much. And this armor is in the wrong spot, by the way. Take out Scribe Halen real quick. There we go. There, I'm not completely useless. Alright, I'm gonna bump this down a bit. Okay, that might be the wrong positioning. What just happened? Oh, they just blew Maxon up on top of my head, didn't they? My boy! No! I missed it on recording, but the synth just finished hacking Liberty Prime. I don't know why I took that. I'm just gonna... There we go. I think we're done. Yeah, we're good. I'm out of here! I'm out of stim pack, so if I don't make this jump, there's gonna be trouble! I did it! Yo, I actually did it! I won! No, seriously, I won. Oh my god, that was so hard. Why was it so hard? Okay. Boom! I actually did it! I won! Now that Maxon and the rest of the Brotherhood are deep fried, I returned to the Institute and said my goodbyes. Proving, yes, you can beat Fallout 4 with teddy bears. My god, that was stupid. That was one of the stupidest runs I've ever done, and I love it. Honestly, it's some of the more wild ideas that I really enjoy doing, and this one I feel like fits the bill perfectly. That doesn't mean it was stress-free. This was one of the worst runs I've ever had to do. Obviously, it took me 2 weeks to do it. 2 weeks? Not a lot of runs make me do that, but, you know, I did it. I got it done eventually, and it was worth it. I had a lot of fun with it. And in case you guys were wondering, because I obviously brought it up earlier, yes, I'm going to be doing Starfield runs. Don't expect them soon. I want to get at least one normal playthrough as well as probably a Starborn playthrough out of the way before I actually start doing runs on it. So if you are going to expect any runs, expect it in the week after next or the one after that. Regardless, that's all I have time for in today's video. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing, otherwise I'll catch you in the next one.